Theruvan Saranai, dear Dhamma friends, I begin by offering my deepest respect and reverence to our venerable teacher, Buddhothpado Aryan Wahanse. Theruvan Saranai Aryan Wahanse. Your noble guidance has illuminated our path to nirvana. Your unwavering dedication to sharing the ultimate truth and reviving the wisdom of the Arahants is a gift of immeasurable value. We are truly fortunate to witness the unfolding of this profound truth under your compassionate care. May you live long and continue to guide us, Ayuboveva and Theruvan Saranai. Today I will delve deeper into the sermon titled Sita Kiyala Deyak Nae. This practical approach is divided into 4 stages. The practical approach to nirvana. Stream enterer, once returner, non-returner, and arahant. Darshana, or the wisdom of truth, lies in progressing through these stages to reach nirvana. In Darshanaya, the Buddha explained 2 extremes, Ajat, inside, and Bahid, outside. Both are not real. The external world is not true, and neither is the internal world of the mind. Liberation comes by transcending both, realizing that seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, or touching are not passive acts, but arise actively through perception. This marks the stream enterer stage, the beginning of the practical path. At this stage, one realizes that the mind is not true. There is no such thing as a mind. What we call the mind is merely a response to stimuli. When one perceives the truth, even this concept of stimuli dissolves. The stimuli arise and ceases, revealing their transient nature when the truth is seen. This is the insight known as Udayavajnana, one of the 10 stages of knowledge, jnanas, that directly unveil impermanence. Realizing this truth, described as Prajna Bhave Tabba Vijnanam Parinyeya, is the recognition of the impermanent nature of consciousness. In other words, prajna, or wisdom of insight, is understanding that the mind is not a concrete entity, but rather a transient flow, a fleeting phenomenon. Yet, even as this is explained, one might protest, but I see, I hear, I think. Surely the mind exists. To transcend such views, one must go beyond mere intellectual understanding. This truth must be self-evident through direct experience. Until this realization occurs, sensory input from the external world perpetuates the illusion of its existence. This duality, the belief in a self and an external world, creates suffering. The act of ascribing existence to what does not truly exist is the root of suffering. However, when the non-existent world is realized as non-existent, suffering ceases. This is the ultimate truth. Science, including quantum physics, helps us illustrate this concept. Existence can be likened to the spark generated when positive and negative polarities meet. This spark, a temporary manifestation, arises in emptiness when the necessary conditions are present and vanishes when they are absent. The mind too arises in this way as a transient spark. Even with scientific metaphors, understanding this concept is challenging due to the limitations of human comprehension. Emptiness permeates everything. The mind itself is akin to a rapid, fleeting spark, creating the illusion of existence while being inherently ephemeral. The Buddha revealed this transient nature of the mind to help beings transcend it and thus end suffering. This transient nature, however, applies to all phenomena. It's the Buddha's duty to reveal these truths so that beings can see how the mind is constructed and in their suffering. No one should accept this truth merely on hearsay. It must be investigated and understood through personal realization. Our role is to guide you toward this truth by explaining why the mind doesn't exist and showing how it's created. First, as knowledge, so you can explore it for yourself. The Buddha's pivotal discourses, the Mahanidana Sutra, Salayatana Sutra, Skanda Sutra, and Upadana Skanda Sutra, all points to this truth. Teachings like Satipatthana Sutra, dependent origination, and the Noble Eightfold Path present different paths leading to the same realization. There's no such thing as the mind. The mind is merely a perspective, a ditti, a view. This is why Buddha remarked, මහණෙනි අශ්වලෝමක් සියක් කඩකට පැලෙන්න දුන්වායෙක් විදීද එයත් විශ්වාස කළ හැකි මහණෙනි මේ අවබෝධ කිරීම නම් සුකර නොවේ. Great sage, can an archer pierce a single horsehair into 100 horsehairs using the tip of an arrow? Yet, grasping this truth is an even more challenging feat. Understanding this truth is no simple task. Without realizing it, one cannot see that the mind does not exist. To illustrate, the Buddha once picked up a speck of dust on his fingernail and asked the monks whether it was greater than the earth. The monks replied that the earth was vastly greater and the speck of dust was insignificant. The Buddha then explained that the suffering eradicated by one who has attained the Dhamma, I, is like that speck of dust, negligible compared to the immense suffering left behind. Through metaphors, the Buddha conveyed the profound rarity of understanding the Dhamma. He likened it to glimpsing a rainbow in a single dewdrop on a blade of grass at dawn, requiring just the right angle and a careful gaze. Similarly, understanding the truth of the Dhamma requires a precise, gentle insight. Dhamma is profound, and a mind ensnared in duality struggles to comprehend it. True understanding must lead to realization. One must observe in this very moment how the mind is created and how it deceives us moment by moment. This journey unveils how the mind arises and dissolves, leading to the ultimate realization that there is no such thing as the mind. That's all for today. I think Aryan Hansa hasn't joined us today. Um, we can continue and open the forum and start the discussion like yesterday.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි හර්ෂි.
තෙරුවන්
සරණයි. තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
Dr. Chandran.
Yes, thank you for your valuable explanation today. තෙරුවන් සරණයි ආර්යයන් වහන්සේ. Shall we discuss what is Samma Ditti and how can one turn over to Samma Ditti from Mithya Drushti? Or how someone can, how does someone knows that he is in Samma Drushti or Mithya Drushti? I think it is good for a discussion. I think. So, Prantima, are you there?
Yes, Thiruvan Saranai, Doctor. Thiruvan Saranai, everyone. Thanks very much, Harshi, for that valuable explanation you provided. I think that's a very wonderful speech. I think we have Miss Lalana also here with us. So we can discuss. I think this is a very good topic one need to discuss. That is Sammaditthi. So what is Sammaditthi? I think as an opening to this discussion, I can say this is the Satya Jnana, or in other words, the Darshana Jnana, or Yatha Bhuta Jnana. Or one can say this is seeing the reality of the formation of mind, or understanding how things are created, so everything is constructing, and we try to understand this part, this constructing, because most of the time the mithya dushti, or the land of wrong view, means we have things, we have this existent field, the world is real, so that comes naturally in the land of wrong view. But in Sammaditthi, that's different. In Sammaditthi, we understand the reality and we open the reality and we understand the formation. We understand how this construction process happened. When we open to the reality, we understand we cannot find anything permanent here. So everything is constructing every moment. So in a moment, even we do not find anything here. So all what we see, all what we hear, all what we feel is a kind of a mirage, is a film. So this is something we need to feel. I mean, this is the reality. The reality, nobody would understand. I mean, it's very difficult, as Harshi said. Harshi has experience, but I am telling to the world that this is very tricky point, because all the time we feel the things are exist. Actually, we cannot talk about a thing, because when we talk about a thing, all the time that duality is formed. Either when we say thing is there or thing is not there, that means indirectly we accept a thing. So thing is somehow formed here. But this is not that. So this is constructing, that is this vibration, these are formed. So this is a formation, some energy formation occur all the time. So this is the universal phenomena, this is the universal truth that we need to understand for us to become Sammaditthi. So I think this is a very important topic. All my friends can, I think, join and provide your ideas. Actually, what happened to us, because we were all the time in a that wrong view of self. So we lived with that wrong belief of self. So that sakkaya ditthi, that wrong notion was strongly rooted in ourselves. But now we understand this is not true. This is a mirage. So this is what happened to us in this samsaric journey, because all the time we lived with this wrong view, and we have been kind of increasing the power of self in the samsaric journey, and kind of traveling. So even though, I mean, there's no person going here, but we understand there is a kind of a string, kind of a relationship we can see. So this is a very important point. I think today we can discuss that eye is constructing, ear is constructing, nose is constructing. So as the mind is constructing, and the world is constructing, the soul is constructing. So everything is constructing. So I think my friends, you all also can join, and I will also add further thoughts to it, when the conversation going on. I am on live. Teruvan Saranai. Maybe Miss Lalana can start.
Teruvan Saranai everyone. Teruvan Saranai Randima.
Teruvan Saranai.
First of all, I would like to pay my humble homage to Buddhothpado and Master. I think Kashi and you have given a correct message, because valuable message to the world, right? Day by day, we have to do like that. With our understanding, we have to express our ideas. Then only the discussion is become successful. Because when Aranvas is with us, Aranvas can identify our mistakes and our wrong mission. Like that, today we are discussing what is samadhi. In simply say samadhi, get rid of from the illusion or wrong vision. So normally we had wrong vision that the word is true, and we couldn't understand the word is forming because of our thoughts. The thought is actually not true. Thought is also our word, because samadhi means we know that the thought is not real. For an example, when there's a chair, there is no chair, not actually not we can't say there is no chair. There is, it is the how it has formed, like that. Because when we say there is no chair, I think we are going towards one extreme. So this is regarding Ajjata Bahidda, the middle part. So we should know how the chair is formed. That is names and forms. Like that. It is name. There is no names and forms even. There is only a vibration. When the vibration occurs in our eye, and the sound added to that make us a chair. When the chair is becoming true, there is a chair outside. Our world is formed. That is Nitya Dushtiya. Samma means Nidiva. From that illusion we get rid of is known as Samadhi. So earlier we didn't know about it even. So there is no, we always dealing with outside world because it has come true for everyone. Now we know the reality because outside is not there, and there is it is like this. We know the truth because we can see the outside because of the sensory system, and there are vibration from all senses make us that outside world. So when we realize it, we know there is no outside world because of the cause, the vibration effect is like that. right? The cause of the vibration inside our system, sensory system, then only we can understand there is no outside world. It is only a thought. There are only thoughts we are living in. As long as we are believing there is an outside world, I think we are in Mithya Drishti, not in Samma Drishti. So earlier, what we have heard, we didn't know, we always believe there is an outside world. Now we know the pattern, how it has formed. So our sensory system. So therefore, I think that is the most important thing to be having an idea and get the wisdom to this Dhamma service is very important because when we have someone cannot understand Samadhi, then we are still believing the outside world is with us. When there is an outside world, other side, I myself is self-identity of myself is forming. But we couldn't understand this reality at once. But as long as we are hearing this Dharma service, I realize there is no such a thing. Everything is creating in our mind. Mind is also not true. It is a transforming kind of vibration. And there's another vibration is known as mind. So that is an illusion. That vibration is not existent to time. It is a fast occurrence. And because of the fast occurrence, we feel there is something outside and we are looking. I'm the one seeing this. I'm the one touching this. It comes automatically. So by understanding this real Dhamma, the formation of a mind is really important to get rid of some Mithya Drishtiya. Then only you coming to the correct path with having the idea of Samadhi. That is the thing I wanted to say to everyone.
Thiruvan Saranai Lalana. Thiruvan Saranai, thank you very much. Yes. So the wrong view or the Mithya Drishti is when we take the things existing outside, and if you contemplate deeply, all these are in our thoughts. But if someone should ask that I can see my child, I can touch my child, so I can talk to my child. So how can you tell that that is not real, that is not existing outside? So is there any simple way so we can explain that to them? That this is only your thoughts, but it is actually not existing outside.
That means, doctor,
Yes.
do you want me to explain or someone else?
No, yeah, you can explain, Lalana. Yes, it's okay.
That means, doctor, so every time before we got to know this Dhamma, we think outside is real. Now, when we think the mind is, the main factors, the mind formation is sound and forms. Or simple say, up here, that means colors and sounds. It is simple way I'm telling you, right? Sound is when we see something, if there is no sound, we cannot identify thing as an object, right? There is we know something is there, but when we added some words, some voice into that color, so we know it is a chair. Sound and forms. Without sound and forms, now when you think about the child, he can see. Child can see, but he doesn't know it is real. And he doesn't know it is real. And he can see something, but he doesn't know what it is. When the thought creates, then only the child will have a word. The child will have a word when all the thoughts are occurring. Even though he has, uh, even though the child has sensors and it is working and it is not actually fully working. To a certain level, only the child mind is working. There is no mind even, only the sensory system, but there are no output, like a chair, mother, like that, right? So because of the vibration, we didn't know that is a vibration. The light comes to we think the color or light is something outside, but it is not an outside because of the eye is have a spark, speed spark. It creates a light as colors. So if there is no spark, speed spark inside the eye, we cannot see the outside because when the spark is happening inside the eye, it will, it always telepathizing the outside sparks. When it's get equal, similar, then we see there is a image, there is an image, right? When the image has we have heard something before, that image is like a flower or chair, that thoughts automatically comes. But this is only a steps. It happens automatically, doctor. We can't, when we see the chair, we cannot say this is names and forms. At once we know this is a chair because of the speedy occurrence of the vibration. Because of the speed, we think it is existing. And the words and the speed happening. The words cannot be separated from the thought because it has attached. It has attached. Very difficult to explain even but the RNVC is always telling us this is the method. This is the method. That's why now when we are in a dream, we can see some colors. We can see some. We can hear some people are talking, but there is no color in that picture, in that image that we are seeing in a dream. There is no sound. That is why it is known as a vibration. The vibration has no colors or sounds. It is an automatical system creates in our body. That is known as chitta niyama. So we should not try to separate those things. It is a separate thing. That is the wrong vision we are having. Right? There is no color in the vibration. There is no sound in the vibration. These things are also we added to the vibrations to communicate. That is the thing. So when we understand clearly, those are only the vibrations happening inside the eye, ear, tongue, skin, and all together when they are coming, is transforming into a new vibration that is known as mind. It happens fraction of a second. At once the thought is coming, not separate one as a sound or color or taste. It comes, all these are coming together and transforming into a new vibration. That is the theory here. The transforming into a new vibration is known as mind. When you understand this theory, the transformation of a new vibration is known as mind, and that is also a vibration occurs due to a spark. Naturally, then it is easy to understand the world is not true, the thought is not true. That is how I understood, doctor. The world is not real. When the world become real, because I am the one looking at this, I am the one seeing this, I am the one touching it, I am the one tasting this. that is also coming automatically, because there are two extremes. When there is a thought become, when there's a thought, automatically other side also creating, other side also creating. We can't understand even other side creating at the same time. There, that is why there's a duality. There's a duality. There is a duality, right? Other side automatically creating. When you examine this very carefully, actually, when there's a thought, me, myself, the self identity is always with us.
I
All
think Dr. Ravi also joined. Maybe we can get Miss Lalana his input as well, no?
yes, doctor.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Rangima, that is how I understood the world is not real. When we understand this, I think the last one, we can come to the samadhi.
I think that is a very good explanation. The speed matters everything because it is due to the speed this duality is formed and things becoming real. So I'm sure Dr. Ravi and Miss Harshi also must have their very good, valuable input. So
Yes.
shall we open them also? Yeah.
Okay.
There
Thiruvon Saranai Nandima, Thiruvon Saranai all of you. Uh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Ravi.
Right. Thiruvon Saranai, yes, I joined just now. So I heard what Lalo was telling. Yes, actually, it is the theory. It is the theory part. I think now most of our listeners and we know these things, but only thing how we can practice this. That would be the problem. So in day-to-day life, when we deal with other people, how we should see these things. I mean, every time we can't contemplate everything. This is Sabda Varna on name and forms and so on. So what I thought was uh, just saying. So we know everything is a thought. Thought is made up of some names and form. So we know that theory. So whatever comes into our mind, whatever what we see from our eyes, whatever we hear from your ears, so uh, everything makes a thought. So the thought itself is not real. So that is an illusion. So the illusion, even if we think about something, if something comes to a mind, even a past thing, past memory, so it's also the mind. So so at that point we have to, if we take everything in the mind is not real, so that is the path, I think. So at very moment, uh, our defilement, the power of that vibration will be faded away. So and also in some point we'll feel that there is nothing called vibration as well. So yesterday Arad was telling in night Zoom discussion. So even we think that we have our whole world, that is also an illusion. So there is nothingness is everywhere. So so uh, there's I don't know to whom uh, the Mogaraja Sutra. Mogaraja, every time you see in this world as nothing, nothing as nothing in there. So I don't know how we should practice. So there's a proper way. The Aranvasi has taught us how we should practice this in day-to-day lives. So, so what we should focus on now, according to my understanding, is how we should practice. So anyway, uh, so whatever the things. So today definitely the RN ones won't be able to join. So anyway, it's also just that's just a thought in our mind. So I don't know. Uh, so yes, everything comes into our mind is a uh, is a lie. Uh, so uh, so whenever we see this truth, this truth, the defilements behind it, underlying the power will be faded away. The power in the sense we are called the defilements. The defilements will be faded away. So what does happen at the last? The mamaya, the ego. The ego will be vanished. So that is the point where we should focus on, I think. So when yeah, yeah, when someone want to, so as Aranvase clearly says, at some point we have experienced this, but it does not become static into our life. It should it should it should be there. Uh, uh, um, yeah, it should be there throughout. So whatever we do, it should go uh, as a, I mean, I don't know, it should go in parallel with whatever the activity we do in our day-to-day life. So uh, the awaken to the moment should be there. So this is what we should practice, I think. So at the same time, yeah, I don't know whether it is really necessary to see each and every thought, but whenever you get stuck with some kind of a thought, whenever you have a burn in your heart, in your mind, so you can contemplate, you can go to the theory. Then if you feel, by that point we will understand there's nothing, it's also a mind. So your your worries, your burn will be faded away definitely. So that how we should practice that thing. And also uh, yes, yes, last couple of days RN Maharshi talked about this Sila Samadhi Prajna thing. I don't know, uh, do you know the English words for this? I don't know. Sila means what? Have you any idea, Ms. Randima?
See, Sila is kind of a virtue, no?
Virtue.
Sila.
Right.
But actually the real meaning is different when we come to true Dhamma.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sila means
For the state
basically
of samadhi means awakening,
samadhi is kind of a tranquility position.
tranquility. Ah,
Yeah.
right.
But here samadhi is animitta samadhi. You can explain that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
When you
prajna means the wisdom, no? That
wisdom be gained
wisdom,
through this,
yeah,
but
kind of
yeah,
awakening.
awakening. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is not happening individually. All three uh, is um, I mean, comes
Yes.
all,
Yeah.
yeah,
All
all
three comes.
together, I think. Ne?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
explain. Yeah.
Yeah, like three different strand, the three strand twined in a rope. So
Yeah.
when you hold from some point, you hold all three strands,
Yes.
but you
Yeah.
can't hold individually. So that's how this develop, I think, in our minds. Not actually mind, the feel we get.
Yeah, because that's how the liberation happened. No, the liberation happened in an each and every object or in an each and every moment, just because this all three present. That Sila, Samadhi, Prajna, all present, and you are liberated. That means the growth of that also has to happen in a kind of a three together life.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's true. Uh,
So the
so
Sila, Samadhi, Prajna means, in other words, the Eight Noble Path. No. So
yes,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly, exactly. So so at what point we are talking about this 10 factors thing? So
Yeah, 10 fetters actually throughout this Nibbana journey, that is on 10 fetters. That is Sakkaya Ditthi, Vicikiccha, Silabbata Paramasa,
okay.
Kamaraga Patiga, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, Avicca. That means kind of cessation of the defilements will observe throughout the Nibbana journey. So that will start. Basically, you have to meet, I think you know, Arano has explained. We need to meet a noble friend. We need to get the message. So with the right message, through the listening, that Sakkaya Ditthi, Vicikiccha, Silabbata Paramasa would fade away.
Yes, yes,
So that is the turning point. So there is kind of a strong kind of a transformation has to happen, because all this time you were in Anusote, and once you listen to this never heard before Dhamma, kind of a inner transformation will happen. So after that, it is it is something you have to experience your cessation of defilements. That is this kamaraga, patiga would fade away, so that you can experience yourself. So
yeah,
that's why the path comes. In other words, it is the tun bhumiya. So kama bhumi, rupa bhumi, and arupa bhumi. So you are basically removed, or you are basically get rid of all these three lands, in the sense back again the mind formation. So
yeah,
you will refrain from that, because what happens in Anusote, our perceptions are very rough. We say Gana Sanya, Ralu Sanya. So that means it has strong self. Atma is very high. And also that means, in other words, what's that mean? The defilements level also very high. That is the Raga Dvesha Moha. Delusion, hate, and the sensual desire. So that all that lust, all that is very high level. So what
yeah,
happens when you understand the reality? Reality means what? I mean, is the outside is real? I mean, what you can experience. So now you will start to analyze where your birth occur. Actually, your birth occur in the mind. So it is not you are seeing outside. You are actually thinking. So this is
yeah,
the tricky point. We will understand, because all the time we think our eyes see outside, our ears see like that. That's how we have been thinking. But when we understand, oh my goodness, everything is constructing this moment, and my birth is where? My birth is like, birth of the eye, and the mind consciousness. So that mind consciousness is the place where I understand the world, and that also not real. I mean, when you understand when you go deep into it, this completely some different film or kind of a perception is generated from and it derived kind of a film. So it is the Vijnana Maya. So that is the mirage. So we all the time live in this mirage. That is the truth. Even though we think that we see everything, we hear and all, but actually we live in the film. So when we understand that we are really in a film, I'm sure anybody, once they understand this reality and at the end, each and every moment you die there. So your birth occur and death also occur in the mind. So there's nothing called mind. So it is a spark. Spark means kind of a lightning. So in a lightning, you do not find no whether origin or a cessation. The kind of a spark means it occur means that itself it got disappear. So there is no any margin even. There is no any space there. So it is a spark. So that's a super fast thing. So that is you. That is your consciousness. So this is the mirage. So all the time we live with this mirage, and there is no anybody living inside with a continuous feel of anything. So once we open to this reality, I am sure we will gradually experience our sensual desires and the lust, and the hate and all these delusions fade away. So we experience our removal from, refrain from this karma world. So that's something we have to experience. So that's why that feel is important rather than thinking. uh, when we have that dhamma chakshusha, what happened automatically we'll experience kind of transformation in ourselves, and the kamaraga patiga, in the sense we will experience that also, that sensual desires and the hate and those things, those ill will and all that will gradually deplete. So Rupa Raga, in the sense that Rupa Sanya, because even though we experience our removal from the karma world, that sensual world, uh, we have this Sanya. All Sanya, we are actually trapped in a Sanya world. This Sanya means various Sanya, various things. So the husband, wife, the children, all these are Sanya. So that the sanya is not material thing. The sanya is the real mirage, because the sanya form in a such a speed, and that sampatichan form and derive the sanya. Various previous vibration now sampatichan at this moment occur as sanya. So there is no place for sanya. The sanya occur this moment. So we are actually trapped in the sanya. So that value of sanya also kind of goes. So this is how it happens. And then it is the arupa. So arupa, in the sense that formless world. So in the sense, one the sanya, we understand the reality of sanya. All sanya means just a vibration only in this system. So there is nothing else. So everything is a sanya. So that means all sanya means everything become valueless, right? So after that, it would be like the itta sanya, like that 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 soul feel, and kind of that things are existing like that will come. That because we have no, we think the light is real, the sound real, but that's also the same thing. Nothing is real. Everything is speed. So due to that speed, we feel real. So that also kind of diminishes. And so all the time, so this then lastly we have the mane. So that mane, in the sense that uddacha kukucha vichikicha and this mana. So that mana means mana in the sense that pride, so that people have no. So that also need to go away. And then avijja. So lastly, it is the avijja means ignorance. That means this thing we can understand. This 10 flatters shows actually how our perceptions are becoming soft
Yes.
throughout this path. In the sense, we say sanya sukuma vena. So the perceptions becoming, and that is the kusala. In other words, that is the merit. So there is no any other merit. So this is the merit. This is the real merit. So and then the avijja is there. No, avijja is there throughout this path. Avijja means there is some form of ignorance. Due to that ignorance only, some particular thing become real to some extent. At least some little level of this delusion would be there. No? At least the mana would be there. So that's why everything will goes away. I think with the that final state. So this is very interesting. Dr. Ravi, I'm sure there is another doctor, our Harshi couldn't provide. No, can you also add to the same? I'm sure you have very good knowledge of this sutra as well. Harshi?
Yeah, Randima Theruvan Sarana. I'm not a doctor, by the way. Yeah, so yeah, that's very interesting. This perceptions, the sanya, like, and another interesting thing about this is Aran Mahansa keeps saying that sanya does the sound perception doesn't have the sound in it. It's just a label or a signpost or an indicator to say that this is this sound or this is this picture. Like you correctly said, like it's an illusion. There's no gravity or the core to it. Just contribute to creating this whole illusion in the form of the vibration. Like in every vibration the world exists and will come to existence and disappears. So these all in the form of all these perceptions we have this idea, here I am, I exist in this particular country, in this particular city, leading this road leading to my house. I am at number 55, this house, living on whatever the lane it is. All that is in just one vibration, one perception sandwiched together. So when we have that existent feeling, the itasanya and the self perception, atma sanya, so it carries everything. Like if you when you follow through this practical path, you realize that you feel uneasy. There's this weight to your experience, your existence, or whatever it is. uh you want then you realize there's some sort of a defilement, that you have been indulging on some kind of a thought. Then if you contemplate, you realize that you can kind of undo the weight of where you are, what you are doing, who you are, like the labels, the perceptions, or the relationships. Like I am in this room sitting on a chair as the mother of 5 children who went to school today, and they are going to be done with the school at 2 o'clock. All that information is just in the sitting, and sitting is also another perception, another sanya. So we carry all that weight with every step we walk. So unnecessary. So it's kind of funny, like before we came across this dhamma, how what kind of a what kind of a place we were in, like carrying all that, all the burdens in the entire world, or or Trump became the president, or Andrew Dissanayake became the president. Now it's going to change, or whatever it is. All that is, and the funniest thing is the perceptions that came to existence to give that message to us do not contain any real thing as we think it is, because they do not exist, because they are contributing to create the mind. They are in the form of vibrations maturing to create the mind, which which does not exist. All that is an illusion. So it's so like um, without a noble friend, there's no way that we would have understood that or realized this. So we are being very blessed. We have Aryan Mahansi guiding us throughout the whole thing to Sammaditi, to realize that there is no such thing as mind. And just not just mind could be a very simple thing as knowing the first thought, not the biological birth, but the birth of the mind, birth of the I, birth of the thought, where you established that this is myself with the name that is given by so and so, who who uh, whom is the child of this mother, this father, with the belongings such as a bag or a pair of shoes or whatever. That very first thought, maybe it's the original sin they talked about in the Bible. They ate the fruit from the tree of knowledge. Knowledge came to us in the form of the mind. So maybe it's the same analogy. So from that simplest mind consisting of one single thought to having a very complex mind, you know, uh, with tertiary education, with our degrees and all that, um, knowledge, in terms of knowledge, very complex mind doing complex things, complex worldly things. We walked farther and farther away from the truth. So we lost our um, had there been a noble friend at an early stage, uh, we would have entered the stream at an early stage. But since we didn't, we got to this very complex mind and went farther and farther away from the emptiness, the truth. All these good things that we've been, all of you all were explaining. So it's now, like Aryan has says, since we have so much of knowledge, it's like, you climb a mountain, uh, to get to the bottom. Now you have to dig a whole mountain down to get to you know uh, the base level altitude. If you didn't have all that knowledge, like Sunito Sopaka, it would have been an easy journey. Just a matter of few words would have gotten you back to the emptiness or the nothingness, the truth, ultimate truth. But since we have all this knowledge, we have a lot of things to we have 84,000 dharma skandhas, in like 84,000 different ways we can understand this dharma in. Understand what, how this mind was created, and the fact that there is no such thing as mind, and it all started with a vibration, and to realize at the end also there's no such vibration. And without knowing all that, we are just walking like elephants with big steps, with all the weight in the world carrying on our shoulders. Yeah, that's my view about this at this point. I think someone else can add to this.
Yes, Harshi. So I remember yesterday you were the Aryan Mahansi was asking you what is the correct word for the telepathy or the resonance. So everything uh, we we use every time we use these words, why we are using these word to understand this illusion. So every word is there to understand the illusion. So actually speaking, there's nothing such a thing. So even when we find that there is no such a vibration, even the we call there's a vibration. So when we realize at the end there is no such a thing called vibration even. So the words that we use to explain the telepathy or the resonance or whatever. So all the things are gone, right?
Useless.
Useless. Yes, yes, that is a very so as you said, Sunita Sopaka, they didn't have such kind of a knowledge to think that much in deep depth. So we have that knowledge, unfortunately. So we are thinking here and there. So this cannot be happen. This should be there. There should be a logic behind this, and because of our knowledge, the liberation of mind is has gone far away from us. So
Yeah,
without thinking in depth, if we accept that, if we could accept this, yes, there's nothing in this mind, everything is an illusion. What is there? So that is the end. So with this knowledge and everything in our heads, uh, we we are we are we have become I don't know, we have become we are unable to understand. So we always uh, we always seek for some logic. So why this is happening, why this is happening, why this is happening? We always ask question. It is a good thing, the vimansava is a good thing, but I think to understand this, to realize this, it is not needed as well. So that's why our Aranvasi always keeps telling, even in a 7-year-old child can understand this thing. So if that child can understand, why we can't understand? So because of this knowledge, because the mind is filled with so much of rubbish, our minds. So what we are trying to do is here, we we just unload our things. We have to unload our things. Seeing this, isn't it?
yeah, it's mind has always, operates in this framework of logic and reasoning, whereas the truth transcends it. And
Yeah,
a lot of people, even though they are like, not content with their lives, they know there's something more to it. There should be some way out of this suffering, but they still can't grasp this because they're trapped in this logical framework. There's no way for some people, like Karen Mahansa says, standing on words. There's even people who are sharing dharma, say, asking us not to stand on words, don't look at the hand when the hand is pointing at the moon. They are the very very same people who are stuck with the words. So it in a way, it's, in the material world it became a blessing, but when trying to understand the dhamma, it has become a curse. But now I guess it is not quite possible for us to just get to the Sunita Sopaka level. The one who fell in the well has to come out of the well as well. We are like
exactly.
we are in a situation like that, stuck
Yeah.
with the logic and reasoning, and in a situation where we have to find our own way out to Dhamma through logic and reasoning, and having that focus and concentration, and by awakening the insights, the vidarshana. Yeah, that's where we are at right now. Yeah, not an easy path, but it's very interesting and very calming, and it's how futile everything we've been doing for no reason, so
Yeah,
much of pain and hurt and so suffering, right? Like everything from starting from the very beginning, going to school, doing things just because the society wants us to do these things. We are trying to have a tick to our to-do list, or to the list where the society say you have to go to good school, you have to study, you have to get a degree, you have to do a good job, you have to get married, you have to have children. No one just lifts their heads and ask, why do we have to do this? Why? It just, one of my neighbors, she was like, aren't you getting married? I was like, for what? Like, so that there will be someone in your lineage. I was like, to do what? so that they will take care of property. I was like, because somebody is saying, I asked this person, so because someone is saying that I should have someone, reproduce someone so that someone can take care of the properties. You've been doing that, your grandmother has been doing that. What is the meaning of this? You
Yeah,
know, never ending craziness.
yeah.
Because we have a mind, or we misunderstood that there is a mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We from the childhood we were taught that that is the nature. So reproduction is the nature. So when trees grows up, then they reproduce and they produce new generation. So we have been taught this is the nature. So we have to adhere to that the rhythm of the nature. So we thought like that, so we are compelled to do that. So I don't know. That is the misleading part. I think the nature that they have taught us, the teachers have taught us, is not real actually. So if they could give this nothingness at the very beginning, so we might be not doing these things at the present moment. So that's why I heard in one of R.N. Vance's sermons yesterday, I think 9:30 a.m. one or some other. So one lady was asking, is there any mechanism to adapt some kind of R.N. Vance's sermons to school children? So that's what R.N. Vance was now trying to do. I think introduce this true Dhamma to the uh, primary students. I mean, he doesn't want to apply it to the very younger ones, but from the I think from the grade 5 and above children, they want they this message should be given. Everything is mind. So that is the very simple message. That is one of the very simple message that we can give. We can feed into our children's mind, because now I see actual world. When I yesterday we had a nice discussion in night Zoom discussion also. Nowadays the sorry, nowadays the one lady asked the question about this uh, transgender and lesbianism and everything. So it is due to the corrupted mind. So I experience in my own home with my so I have a daughter in 15 years. She Her priorities are different rather than our ones when we were young. So they think with the social media and everything, their minds have already been spoiled. I don't know. So they live in mind. So so if they could understand, there's there there's there's no point following your mind. So they will gradually come out from that illusion. So they don't know they are in an illusion. So I don't know why, to what extent will this spread, will it this be spread. So so I don't know. Yeah, we have to give this message to our younger ones.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's a great service that RN Vans is trying to get
Yeah,
this Satyajana to the even the Sunday school system, the school Sunday school syllabus and all that. Even when we were attending Sunday school, there were a lot of discrepancies in that syllabus itself. It's mostly just the Buddhist culture, Buddhist history, some Pali and Abhidharma, which never made any sense as to why we would learn or what it's trying to explain. And then, the karma and effect Dhamma. So that's what that's what we grew up with. Even now, when we know the truth and when we realize certain aspects of it,
Yeah.
that karma and effect dhamma, certain aspects of it come into our words. Something like pawane,
See,
things like which originate in this karma and effect dhamma. uh, the way it automatically comes because it's deep rooted into our bones and structures, this kind of thinking. And a lot of people, because of I mean, there's no point in talking about all that, how bad our the whole of the sasana became because of not knowing the true dhamma. But luckily enough, we have now true dhamma prevailing in the land, so we have some hope uh, to realize and to show the way and share it with the younger generations also.
yes, yes, exactly.
So if anyone has other ideas, Lalana or Andima or Rebecca, I think hasn't shared today. Thiruvan Saranai, anyone wants to add anything to the discussion?
Sana Harshi and Dr. Ravi. The discussion was nice because of the wrong visions. That means knowledge will give us a false idea about the world, even, right? Because of the knowledge we have collected from the childhood, becomes an obstacle to understand real Dhamma. I realize it because we collect a lot of things from the outside, right? So sometimes we are trying to match with these things with this true Dhamma. So one day also I said, do not try to mesh the concept that you have learned or heard before and try keep them away. And as a beginner or newcomer, if you are listening, it will be an easy for you to understand this Dhamma. That is the main thing I have to highlight because of the knowledge always. Because one of my sisters, she's also listening, but she can't understand. She always match her concept with other servers with this to them. I told her if you are doing it over and over again, you won't be able to see the truth. So I always telling this, but finally I gave up this idea to tell her because she's trying to do it all the time. I have the experience, Dr. Ravi and my Sanshi. So, as a beginner or newcomer, you can listen to that, put these all things away, and I think it is easy for you to understand this true Dhamma.
Yeah, it's not that easy to understand it because there's like a lot of terminology involved. As we discuss, like, things we are at this stage with
Yes,
a lot of knowledge.
yes, a
Uh,
lot of knowledge, and even yeah, the older ones, very difficult. Very
yeah.
difficult. That ideas have seeped into their mind.
And even Buddhothpado Deshanas are not that easy to for a newcomer. Like, um, you have to have some sort of even though Aryan has very clearly points out everything, but you have to have some experience plus kind of the certain kind of receptivity towards the Dhamma. You should be able to receive it. You should be ready to receive it, and you should have some insight um,
Yes.
about what's happening, and that
Mhm.
futileness of the world and all that. uh, you know you have to be ready for it. You have to be the
Yes.
right person, be suitable for it.
Be suitable. Yes, true. It is also true because when we try to explain them, even it is becoming a pointless because I also thought they are not suitable for this Dhamma. Then finally I realized it. That
Yeah,
even
it's
though we keep on telling them, so rather than keep on telling, it's better to get away those ideas and listening to this true Dhamma to for our understanding.
yeah, yeah,
With
it's not. It's never going to be an easy task.
it's not an easy
Yeah,
task.
I
Yes.
myself have tried to
Yes.
get like my family, my siblings to like, but
Yes.
it's not easy.
It's not an easy task. Yes. Am I
Mm.
right, Dr. Ravi?
Yes, exactly. So uh, I, I can give you an example. So this is so different from what we have heard before. So so when I see when I see a fly trapped in a cobweb, today also I get a feeling. So somehow or other I should rescue that fly. Otherwise, the spider come and eat its prey. So yesterday, Aranwasi was telling, no, that is the nature. So without catching a prey, how uh, what do you call this spider can survive?
Yes. Yes.
So this should not be done by us.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we have
Yes.
been taught, we have been taught, if you see this kind of thing, you have to rescue
Yes.
that fly.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is so
We
different.
try to
So how
rescue the victim, right? But it should not do because Aaron also told this. I remember, doctor. So
yeah,
because when the squirrel is catched by the cat, I tried to save the squirrel life, but it couldn't sometimes, right? Then we
yeah,
feel so unhappy because I couldn't do anything for that squirrel. Then we didn't thought about the cat's hunger, right?
yeah.
We
Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't
I
feel it,
remember that.
doctor. Other
yeah.
side, we didn't feel like at all.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just
So if we go and tell the ordinary person, RN Master says like that, oh
Yes, we
my God,
can't say.
what are what are you listening? So they will
Yes,
ask us,
yes,
so
because
what
they
kind of a
will.
dharma you are listening? So this is very difficult. But
Yes, doctor.
we feel
Because
now,
of the karma bhumi, I think that is the nature of
yeah,
their mind,
yeah,
doctor.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
these, if we try to escape, try to escape from that because of this to them. But as long as they are living, believing in karma bhumi, these thoughts are coming, doctor.
Yes, yes, sir. That much it has been penetrated into our society, into
Yes,
our mind. Eh?
but that all over the world, even I think now, very
Mm,
difficult to get rid of these ideas from their mind. If someone is who are lucky enough to understand the real Dhamma, he's the most luckiest person in this world, I think, doctor.
yes, exactly.
Can I add to that? I
Yes,
think,
Yes,
Miss
sir.
Ranima.
yeah, I think that indicate that example taken by R.N. Vahanse indicates about the nature because everything is a nature. This nature is creating all the time. So it's actually going in a single kind of a direction. So when we understand the whole thing, this nature, we can understand there is some cycle effect is there, and past is kind of regenerating, and this reproduction, and it's moving kind of creation, and that all this we can identify when we analyze in terms of the nature. So we are also actually part of the nature. So human body, it is not someone is there. Actually, this is a part of this universal system. So that nature. So this also has the same creation and kind of regenerating kind of a setup here when we analyze it in terms of these vibration terms. So it's the energy back again. So it's all energy. So human body or whatever, the earth, all the things, every universal phenomena, it is one thing in common. So that energy and that formation, and it's moving kind of, and there is a growth. But so nibbana means what? Nibbana means the asankata. That means there's no formation. So that's why nibbana is not easy, because all the universal phenomena is going in a one direction, and it is only the nibbana talks about a completely a different direction. So that is asankata, non-formation, non-creation. So in the examples that actually the Aryan Vahanse highlighted, there is a deeper meaning there, that ajata bahidha would not take place unless otherwise. Actually, if we can help somebody, we will definitely help. I mean, if there is a victim, we need to help out, certainly we'll help. But there is no kind of a major shake mind, or the mind is unshaken, that I mean, you are not disturbed from that particular incident. So there is a deeper meaning there. That means the thought come, and you will do some action. Definitely there will be some action, but that action would be action mind only, kriyasita. So basically we are not kind of backed by the vijnana. We are not deluded by the mirage. We know the mirage, we know there is nothing. I mean, there is no victim, nothing here. So everything is the same Rupana, or the same mirage, the same film that we live. So in that film, anything what we experience is just a film only. So with that understanding, we'll be doing certain action, so that, but that action is not disturbed, by any of the mind illusion. So I mean, it is just action only. So we'll be doing whatever the action, what is needed in that particular moment, because we understand that it is just a moment only. So even that moment is not real. So this nothingness is a very beautiful Dhamma. Actually, as Harshi explained just now, we could not find this in any of the things what we learn, because we have been learning so much things in our universities, in various places and schools and Dhamma places. So we could not find this bit, right? So this is a huge Dhamma, actually, the nothingness. So I think we must thank Aryan Mahanse for showing up this beautiful thing, because this is the one truth in the world. So in the absence of this one truth, everything become real to us, and we are we are helpless. So, but with this Dhamma, I think everything become very beautiful, and life become very comfortable, and there is nothing to worry, and it is just living every moment. So that's my view about it. I think Dr. Chandani also must have thoughts about it.
Yes, thank you, Randima. Yes, actually, come to think of it, we live in a world of thoughts, so which ourselves have created. So as Lord Buddha said, "Chittena niyati loko." So that's, we have to be, it has to be very clear. To come to Samadhi, we have to see this is only our thoughts. So all we see, hear, taste, smell, and feel, all our thoughts. So as we give food to our body, this continuous flow of thoughts keeps our mind going. Actually, we don't know that this is happening automatically, and this is a system created, and there is nothing called mind also. As Aryan Maharsa says, there's nothing called vibrations to nothing exists. So actually, when we understand this phenomena, so what happens is our world starts to collapse, isn't it? So as you all said, with more knowledge, the more mind power creates. And it's like a vicious circle. So more mind power, more knowledge, like it goes and goes on. So So actually you are trapped in your own thoughts. So it is very difficult to come out of it. So that's what I wanted to say. And it's very worth to follow Buddha's sermons and realize the true Dhamma and end this suffering. So that's what I wanted to add. Mm. Thank you, everyone. Randima.
Yes, Dr. Chandani, I think time has come to end, right? I think
Yes,
you can, yeah,
yes,
conclude the
we'll
session. Yeah, Dr.
conclude the
Chandani.
sessions for today. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Dhamma friends.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Theron
And
Sarma.
Sarma to all of you.